Okay, don't get me wrong. I find the standard way people track and idolize their home equity in retirement to be just as warm and fuzzy and inheritance focused as the next guy. I get it. I like it. You've got something to brag about at cocktail parties. However, this way of managing home equity in retirement is never going to give you a fully rich life. It sets the equity in your home on a pedestal, never to be considered, making it sacred and untouchable. Talk about inefficient. When an older, often retired client comes to me with a home that's mostly paid off, high credit card bills, expensive car loans, and limited income, the problem isn't usually that they're overspending. The real problem is that they're locked into a singular, narrow view of how their home equity can be used in retirement. So they pour all their effort into refinancing their home to pay off their debts, tapping into their equity in the approved way by getting a larger mortgage with an even higher payment than before, all to be paid off over the next 30 years. You could spend all the time in the world shopping for the best interest rate and the lowest closing costs, but if your mindset prevents you from looking at your equity differently, then it truly doesn't make a bit of difference whether you save 0.1% on your interest rate or shave $1,000 off the underwriting fee. I'm going to tell you which ways of thinking about home equity in retirement are worthwhile, which are not, and more importantly, the mortgage and finance principles that will keep your retirement soundly funded. My name is Ian, and this is Home Equity from a retirement perspective. Here are 6 beliefs that are limiting your life and finances in retirement. Number 1, in retirement we have a limited time horizon. As a result, debt looks different. Entering your golden years while still making a mortgage payment assumes that greater home equity is the ultimate goal. However, cash flow is by far and away the most important financial component in retirement. Why should you suffer a lack of money in retirement, living small, while living in a paid-off home, just because you think you have to leave your home to your kids? Number 2, if you spend down your retirement assets to zero before daring to touch your home equity, you're operating on a belief that your children want to inherit your home and likely live in it. However, 70% of heirs who inherit a home will immediately sell it and turn it into cash, making it no different than inheriting more of the funds in your retirement accounts. We have this idea that to be a good parent means leaving your kids an inheritance, and somehow the home is considered to be a superior inheritance to the financial balances in your investment and bank accounts. If your goal is to pass on assets when you die, then the real way to be a responsible parent is to maximize the value of their whole inheritance pie. How do you do that? I addressed that in another video. Number 3, if we agree that it's okay to tap into your equity using a reverse mortgage, we have to deal with another belief, that debt in retirement is bad. Let's examine that idea. You were likely raised with the idea that you don't take on debt ever, likely instilled in you by your Depression-era parents. I helped my parents to get a reverse mortgage in their senior years and was able to help them see how taking on debt is actually not a bad thing when you're in retirement. Number 4, believing that the only way to purchase your retirement home is by paying cash, or staying put in a home that no longer suits you because you think you'll only be able to move to a similar size, style, or price of home. It's important to know that the reverse mortgage can actually help you purchase a house too, and you can do so in such a way that you're actually able to upgrade your living standards, not downgrade them. Number 5, when it comes to staying in your home until you die, the common belief is that it's a binary choice. Either stay healthy long enough to remain in your home or go into assisted living. You think there are 2 choices, but there's actually a third one. Use your home equity to stay in your home for longer and pay for in-home nursing care. Number 6, the final limiting belief is being wealthy and assuming that reverse mortgages are only for desperate people, those who haven't planned as well as you have for retirement. Underlying this belief, what does it take? What does it mean for my self-image if I take out a reverse mortgage? Do I need to feel ashamed as a wealthy person? In reality, you don't need to explain your actions to anyone. Nobody needs to know. You can explain to your heirs and show them how you're maximizing their inheritance. I'm sure they'll be happy about that.